Good morning, Cole. It's Thursday. And it's not just Thursday, it's a very special Thursday. Why, you ask? Because you have your physics midterm in a couple hours and you should be studying for that instead of making a stupid video? Shut up, awkwardly hooded me. Anyway, today is a special Thursday because it marks the beginning of the playoffs for the Detroit Tigers. That's right, they square off with the Baltimore Orioles at 5:30 tonight, right in the middle of my physics midterm, so I don't get to watch any of the game. For the viewers who don't know, Cole and I are both huge Tigers fans, and I'd like to dedicate this video to describing the Detroit Tigers season so far and looking forward to the postseason. Let's start from the beginning. Detroit began the season in April after a very busy offseason, including many big trades and free agent signings. All-star first baseman Prince Fielder had been traded to the Texas Rangers for all-star second baseman Ian Kinsler. MVP Miguel Cabrera had been moved back to first base from third base due to the Prince Fielder trade. Solid starting pitcher Doug Fister had been traded to the Washington Nationals for pretty much nobody. A little help in the back of the bullpen came from the signing of Joe Nathan, an all-star closer nearing the end of his career. We picked up some speed in Rajai Davis, and most importantly, Brad Ausmus was hired to be the new Tigers manager, succeeding Jim Leyland, who had been managing for 8 years. With quite a bit of postseason success in the recent years, the Detroit Tigers were by far the favorites to win the AL Central Division. And throughout the beginning of the season, it certainly looked like things would end up that way. The Tigers entered the mid-season All-Star break solidly in first place in the division. Oh, I'm getting a call. Hello? Alright. By the way, camera, I'm on the phone with Rachel right now. It'll be in the video. Bye. Well, there's that. Anyway, the Tigers were represented well at the All-Star Game, which was held in Minnesota this year, by first baseman Miguel Cabrera, starter Max Scherzer, DH Victor Martinez, and second baseman Ian Kinsler. Speaking of the All-Star Game, the best part was when I got to see my high school physics teacher, Mr. Sinclair, on the field being recognized for his amazing teaching ability, so that was awesome. Back to the Tigers. After the All-Star break, things kind of started to go downhill. It wasn't long before the streaky Kansas City Royals were on top of the division for the first time since, oh goodness, I should look that date up. The Tigers and Royals kept trading back and forth from first place in the division to second place in the division until finally the last few days of the season hit. It all came down to game 162, which, for those of you who don't know, is the last game of the baseball season. The Tigers were only up by 1 game in the division, which means that their win or a Royals loss would win them the division. And so on the last day of the season, the Tigers squared off against the Minnesota Twins, and they won 3-0. Woo! Tigers win the division! And so those scumbag Royals were forced to play a 1-game playoff against the Oakland A's for the wild card spot, which, in possibly the most interesting game of the year, they still won, which means we might have to face them anyway. Which brings us to right now. The Tigers are preparing for their first game against the Baltimore Orioles in a best-of-5 series, which, if they win, will lead to a best-of-7 series with the winner of the A's versus the Angels. And if they win that, then they go to the World Series against one of the 4 National League teams. Giants, Nationals, Dodgers, Cardinals. And if all goes well there, that will result in the first World Series title for the Tigers since 1984. Indeed, it was a great season, but it's not quite over yet, and hopefully it won't be for a while. Cole, I'll see you on Monday.